I think you guys could see me. YouTube always take a second, but what's up, everybody? Hopefully, y'all can see me. I can see me, so I know y'all can see me. Okay, y'all give me a second so I can get my folks on MX Network on, and we gonna get this party started. In the meantime, y'all do me a favor. Y'all know what's up. Like the video, share the video, subscribe if you have not. Hit that notification bell. Go call your mama and your daddy and your grandma and your kids. Well, depending on how little the kids is, you might don't want to call them because I'll be trying to be on my best behavior, but I can't promise you that I won't be in this mud cussing. I was one of them kids that couldn't wait till I got grown so I could cuss. So now that I'm real grown, y'all ain't gonna stop me from cussing. Okay. But I'm gonna try and keep it PG. I'm gonna try. Okay, for the kids. But if not, y'all watch and just let the kids know what I said in PG form. They your kids. You do that, okay? I do want to let everybody know we are over on MX Network. So for those of you that have not subscribed, you can click the link in the description of this video on YouTube, and you can go over and get your free subscription to MX Network, where you can watch all of these lives while I'm live for free with your free subscription. So you do not have to watch any commercials. I do not know how many commercials that YouTube show y'all. Some people say they barely see any. Some be like every 2 seconds it's a commercial. It's different for everybody. So I don't really know what to tell y'all. I have it on the lowest amount of commercials, but YouTube still do what they want to do. So ain't nothing else I can do about it, okay? Except cut the commercials off altogether, and we're not doing that, okay? We're not doing that. And so anyway, you guys can go over there if you want to. Somebody said you wild, but I love your channel. Well, I guess that's a compliment. Thank you very much. I don't know if I'd like to be called a tame person because that I am not. But shout out to everybody over on MX Network and everybody tuning in right now. I'm going to try not to be here too long. I don't think this is a conversation that's going to take a long time, you guys, but we definitely do need to have this conversation. I hear that Trump is, they've touched down, not Trump himself, but, they've touched down in Chicago, and it's on. It's on. I heard it was some thugs out there, and they told they told the National Guard and them, we got switches. Like, shut your dumb ass up. Whose sons is them online saying that dumb? If you don't sit your dumb ass down in the house. Talk about you got switches, don't come here. You must don't know what the government got. Just shh. Somebody get your kid because he don't know what he talking about. He need to get offline. I know they look like they in their 20s and their 30s, but somebody come take their phone, okay? Because I don't know why they online saying this dumb stuff, okay? So let's just go there. It's about to be some shit in Chicago. I told y'all, just go in the house. Instead, y'all online talking shit. What's wrong with y'all? Okay. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen, right, in these next couple of weeks. But I want to continue to have this conversation, you guys. About the prison industrial complex, right? I actually have some videos that I want to show you guys tonight that you may or may have not seen. I talk about this all the time, right? But I love it when I can bring you some like shit to see with your eyes. Seeing is believing, and this day and age with AI, just because you've seen it don't mean you should believe it because it might not be true. But in this case, I want to show you some things that are very true, right? So again, I want to go back to this crime stuff all over again. How many of you have heard about the case recently? I want to say it was in Charlotte, where the black man was on the train and he stabbed a lady in the neck. Y'all seen that? Okay, so I want to touch on that for a moment because this is exactly what I talked about not too long ago. Remember, I told you what actually creates crime, and I brought up mental disorders as a thing, right? And that is a very true thing. Hotspot Casino said no. Okay, some people said yeah, that it was crazy. So there is a somebody said Free Diddy, Issa Rae, fake ass. That is not Issa Rae, Free Diddy. If you look. You subscribe to my channel just to say that. Boy, if you don't sit your stupid ass down in my soldier boy voice. But anyway, so it happened in, North Carolina, in Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay, so if you don't know what happened, there's a black man that is schizophrenic. He was homeless. He had been let out of jail, didn't have nowhere to go. He on the streets, and he is mentally ill. He has schizophrenia. Now, schizophrenia is one up there on the level of one of the worst mental disorders you can have, right? There are personality disorders, but then there are mental disorders. Now, being schizophrenic, you can hear voices, you can see things that are not there, you can hear things that are not there. So it's a lot that goes on with a person. When I talk about somebody, when you say somebody is a certified nut, like they crazy, that's schizophrenia, y'all. Them is the people that hear things, they see things, they are paranoid, they think everybody is after them. They do think people are out to do stuff to them, and then they're hallucinating. So who knows what this man saw or what he thought it was, right? But he is on a train. There is a young lady, a refugee. I don't remember where she is from. She sits down on a train in front of him, Potang, and she is just on a train, minding her business. I think she had her headphones on. They have showed the video. They stop it all right before he stabs her in the neck. But he gets up, he's behind her. She never sees it coming, and he stabs the lady. He kills her. Okay, so she's dead. And of course, you got people online like what is his name? What is that cooning ass nigga name? Officer Tatum. So he's always online trying to turn something into white folks, black folks. See how black folks hate white folks? I can't stand that man. If you don't know who Officer Tatum is, good for you that you don't. You don't need to know because he's sorry, okay? But anyway, of course, people have dumb stuff to say, but let's talk about, somebody said she was Ukrainian, okay? So she was a refugee over here from Ukraine. And so again, though, I want to come back to the fact of that everybody sees this like this man is a hardened criminal. And so they're charging him federally with murder, and they're trying to send him back to prison. Why? Why? Somebody said he a cool brother. Ulysses Jr. Okay, if you think so. Tatum is a complete coon. He used to be an officer, and the way that he talks, I'm sure he was one of those officers that pull you over, and he decides to take extra power over you, and he abuses his authority. Even when people are wrong, Tatum is always on the wrong side of things. He never gives any black person any credit. He is definitely a coon. And right now, his biggest audience is nothing but white people. But since he got paid, it seems like, to stand with Israel, he is now getting run through the ringer. See, that's what happens with people who tend to want to always put their own people down, even when it's not justified. And you be out here kissing the behind of other groups of people. He thought that white people really liked them. Like, nobody has any respect for any group of people that are willing to disrespect their own to get somebody else to like them. Do you get what I'm saying? They'll let him tap dance on their behalf. They'll listen to all of the stupid stuff that he has to say because they think it's really entertaining that a black man will go so hard to go against his own people. Even when he is wrong, they just enjoy watching a Negro hate themselves that bad. And the truth of that shows right now, because since he has decided to say that he doesn't have a problem with Israel, he had Netanyahu on him, now, which I think is crazy. Netanyahu going around doing YouTube interviews, really? While he out here and they paying to try and change the narrative. Now Netanyahu is on YouTube channels. Really? Okay. So he's over there talking all about how he stands with Israel and all of this dumb stuff. And now he's getting run through the ringer. And all of the people who said they supported him, now he's getting his Negro wake-up call because they're calling him out his name. They treating him like the Negro they always knew he was. Yeah. So, I mean, you think he a cool guy? I think you should take the word cool and where you got that L, put it in, and you will have it right, bro. You will have it right. Something wrong with Officer Tatum. I promise you it is. Shout out to Honeydew Brown. Thank you for the $10 sticker. I appreciate that. So anyway, of course, there are people, and most like him, right? There are some people out there who are trying to make this situation, it's a racist thing, or, oh, see, these criminals, and this is what black people do. But again, I'm going to bring you back to the things that actually create crime, and mental illness is one of them. I keep bringing this up. And in the inner cities, there is a lack of accountability for people to help people with mental issues. And so what I mean by that is, if you look at this man's record, it is all online, okay? His record states that it has been said in court before that he is schizophrenic, okay? So the courts have already deemed this man to be mentally unstable, but instead they release him and put him back out in the streets, in the public. So the court should take some responsibility for what happened to that woman, because if you understand that this man is committing crimes, and one of the crimes he was committing, he told them that there were voices in his head and things trying to bust out his body that told him to do the stuff he was doing. So if this has been recorded in court, then why wouldn't the court like require this man, instead of letting him out on his own recognizance, which is just your signature, not making him pay a bail? Why wouldn't they actually commit him to a mental hospital instead of releasing him to the streets? Right. And then if you are going to release him out to the streets, you know how many people get released on bail, but they have like these stipulations the court puts on them. They'll make them wear a monitor. They will make them take drug tests. They will make them do certain things in order to stay out on bail. And if they don't do those things, then guess what? They're going to come and take your bail away and put you back in jail. So how hard would it be for the court when people come in with these mental situations and it has been proven? How hard would it be for them to just turn around and say, well, we'll let you out, but you are required to go and see your your doctor every week. You are required to be taking your medication. If we find you're not showing up for your appointments, if you are not staying on your medication, we're going to put you back in the mental hospital. The court does have that power. My question is, why do they not use that power as often as they should? Like, how many of you remember, do you remember the video? It was a man who was in the courtroom. He was in there for something petty, not nothing he was finna spend no long time in prison for. And he was telling the judge, I got schizophrenia. I'm trying to get a handle of it. I've been taking my medicine. I'm trying to do a good job. And the judge looks at him and she tells him basically, oh boy, fuck you. We not letting you out. You going to jail until we do whatever we gonna do with your case. And he got upset. Y'all remember that? And he jumped over the it's not funny, but it's funny. So he jumped over the bench right there. Do you remember that? And he jumped over it. He busts her head on the ground, and she ain't bleeding or nothing. She get knocked around, but she get up. I think that the security guard, somebody said that was Las Vegas. So you know what I'm talking about, right? So I think, somebody said just my opinion. I ain't even read it, so I don't know what your opinion is in all cap locks. I don't know. I ain't read it. So anyway, so he jumps over. The judge is not hurt. She doesn't even go to the hospital. So she's not been hurt to where she's bleeding. She need no stitches or nothing like that. She knows that this man is schizophrenic, has a mental disorder. Do you know that when he came back into court because of what he did, that they tried him with attempted murder? Like, I'm not even finna laugh about this now because it's not funny. What that man did was an attempted murder. And you know that this man has a mental disorder. So now you're just going to send him to prison for the rest of his life. So now it's all these other people locked up in there with a schizophrenic dude, people who ain't committed no murders, who got to watch their back because now this crazy person walking around prison with them. That's not the place that man belongs at all. All that's going to do is exacerbate his mental disorder. He's not going to get the care that he needs. And to charge that man with attempted murder and give him all of that time that they gave him, like, that was not justice at all. So I just want people to remember that, right? Shout out to you, Letitia. Shout out to you for being a member for 6 months. I appreciate that. So again, I just want to say that, again, mental disorders are one of the things that causes crime in our communities. But you find in the inner cities, they do not deal with these mental disorders. What happened to that young lady on the train? The court should take some accountability for that, because y'all should have never turned that man back over to the streets. You sent him out there knowing that his mental disorder was associated with his past crimes, and that's why he was doing them. So what the hell makes you think that he's not going to go out and commit more crimes? You didn't even put no stipulations on this man to take medication or to see his, psychiatrist like he should. That's crazy. So I just want y'all to understand how crime is created. I'm going to say this for the people in the back, for the slow people, because before I get into this conversation fully, there is always somebody who misinterprets what I say. You hear what you want to hear because you're in your emotions. I imagine everybody in here is almost grown. So what I would like to ask people to do is listen. Listen to what's being said to understand, not listen to just be leaving some comments, because y'all be irritating me. And people be like, Meech, you don't worry about the comments. I'm not even talking about these comments right now. I'm talking about the ones y'all leave after the fact on some of my videos. My pet peeve is stupidity. And some of y'all comments, I read them and it made me be like, oh, you dumb as hell. And it bothered me for about 5 good minutes. This is why I don't respond to a lot of comments. I just stay out the goddamn comment section because it be some dumb people in there. So let me clarify this for the stupid people. Shout out to you, Animal Advocate. Thank you for the $20 super sticker. I appreciate that. So there's going to be somebody who's going to say, no, crime is out of control and they need to be there doing what they're doing. So I'm going to keep saying what I'm saying because what I've always said has never changed, right? So I'm going to keep bringing y'all back to the basics of what I tell y'all all the time. The government creates problems so that the people can cry for the solution. They come and implement the solution when the solution was the thing that they were after all along. But instead of just implementing it on you, they have to make you think that it is your idea and that you somewhat agree with it. And this is why I disagree with Trump talking about sending all of these troops in. Now, there are people in my chat who are going to say, somebody says, shut up and get a real job. Well, I'm flattered that you, Bonnie, UK, whatever your name is. I'm flattered that you have subscribed to me just to tell me that, okay? But I don't need a job because I'm a business owner, okay, baby? YouTube is the least of my pay. I haven't had a job in many, many years. And, if you want to take my next boot camp, I can teach you your punk ass how to not have a job either, okay? It starts in October. Get a real job. The only people that say that are the people that can't get on YouTube and make any money. I think they was mad about that $20 super chat from Animal Advocate. Y'all be giving money here, they be getting mad. Y'all pissing these people off now, okay? Because he have to work for 2 hours to make that $20 you just gave me in 2 minutes. I love when they say get a real job, bitch. This is a real job. I'm working right now, okay? It's hot in here. The lights is on. It's hot all in my face. I got to pay this goddamn Wi-Fi bill. I wanted to go to sleep. My fat ass wanted to go eat some tacos. Y'all talking about how fat I am. I want to go lay in the bed and eat a bunch of food. But instead, here I am working. This is a fucking job. Now, if you forgot why I did not. So let's go back and rewind it, okay? So Trump coming in and saying that he's going to clean up this crime. Again, this is not the way to handle crime. It really is not, because it's not going to fix the crime, right? When people talk about, oh, he's coming in to get all of these immigrants. Okay, when he gets the immigrants and he sends them away, that won't be an issue anymore for us in the country. When you lock up a bunch of American citizens and you throw them in prison, we have one of the most cruelest prison systems in the world, right? Not the most, but one of the most, because somebody gonna come here and say, have you ever seen prison somewhere else? Y'all always just miss the motherfucking point. Don't miss the point tonight, okay? Lay off the drugs for this live. Go do drugs on somebody else's live. Please, don't do it here because y'all be irritating me, okay? But to sit people in solitary confinement, to mistreat people, to feed them the most harshest foods that there are, to use them as experiments. I mean, we know that the government has experimented on prisoners before, right? But to also use them as slave labor. They don't actually want to clean up crime. They want you to commit crime so that they can throw you in prison. Because prison is where the new slave goes. Now, let me ask you guys a question for those that would like to disagree or don't think that what I'm saying is very valid. First, let's just start off with the fact of how many of you think that it is okay to take people and abuse them and mistreat them, give them the bare minimum that they need in life to live, right? Whether it's the clothing on their bodies, whether it's the food that they eat, and then exploit them every day for free labor. Do any of y'all think that that's okay? Because I could have swore that's something called slavery, and we've had a problem with it in this country ever since they've been doing it to Black people. Do any of y'all think that it's okay? Now, and if any of y'all say, well, they shouldn't be criminals. Really? Really? So everybody in prison deserves that type of treatment. Okay. This is why we will always have a population of crazy ass people who come out of prison, continue to commit crimes, and become worse criminals than they were before they went in. Now, if you go look at other countries, they have prison systems where they take people, they put them in dormitory style settings. They treat them like human beings. They give them therapy. They give them job training. And guess what happens? They come out of prison and they do not reoffend, and they actually become productive citizens in society. So we know for a fact that you can actually rehabilitate a person and make them become a productive citizen in society where it's going to benefit society more than it's not. So if we know this, why do you think that our prison system is harsh and set up the way that it is? Well, that is because that they want you to stay a lifelong slave. They want you to commit crime because crime gives them the right by law. See, slavery never left this country. Y'all think that slavery left? The plantations are the new the prisons are the new plantations. Literally, I'm going to show you today. There are literally prisons that were plantations back in the day, and they still got Negroes in jail on the same land that their ancestors was picking cotton on. And some of them are still picking cotton today. Do you not know that? Do y'all not know that? So again, see, the Constitution says that slavery is legal for punishment of crime. Slavery should never be legal for no goddamn reason because slavery equals free labor. So of course, if it's free labor and it is making people billions of dollars, why would they really want to eradicate crime? I just want y'all to let that sink in. The prison industrial complex is a billion-dollar industry that makes billions and billions of dollars every damn year off of free labor. Now, I'm a business owner. Do you know, as a business owner, if you could have people working for you for free and you never had to pay anybody for the services or any of the work that they did, do you know how fast the business owner could get ahead? If I didn't have to pay for any of the services I needed, I just made somebody do that shit for free. That's crazy. And if that is the case and the government is making all of that money, why would they want to eradicate crime? This is exactly why Trump and the government is sending in the National Guard and all of these troops into these cities to say they're cracking down on crime. All they're doing is arresting a bunch of people. They're going to arrest everybody. Some of them need to be taken off of the streets. Absolutely. Crime is an issue. So for anybody who's going to come here crying, oh, it's bad out here, you talk about me, to be quiet. We need them to come help. Shut your dumb ass up because you are the main person. And it's people like you who help to contribute to our demise because your ignorance won't let your ass see past your fucking situation. This is why the government will not come in and address the things that are the root of crime. Again, for the 1,000th damn time, what is the root of crime, y'all? I done said it here a lot. Y'all should be able to read it back to me in the chat. Mental disorders, poverty. So at the same time, and education. How many times do I have to scream that you can Google this? It is so true and in your face. Your government builds prisons based on 3rd and 4th grade reading levels. You know why that is? Because you learn how to read in 1st and 2nd grade. Is that not when you learn all your letters, your alphabet, your phonics, and how to read? So by the 3rd grade, if you cannot read, that means your ass ain't never gonna know how to read. Because we have the No Child Left Behind. So when you can't read in the 3rd grade, guess what? By the time you get to the 3rd grade, you've already been taught to read. That means we're not revisiting reading. So if you can't read by the 3rd grade, that means you're illiterate and you won't be able to read at all. So now for all of these illiterate, uneducated inner city kids, let's go ahead and build prisons based on those numbers. I think they know something that maybe some of y'all act like y'all don't know, is that those kids have a much higher rate of growing up to be a criminal than anything else. Because there is nobody with a great paying job, great opportunities, a fat bank account full of money, and they out here robbing people or carjacking cars or risking their life standing on a corner selling drugs. Nobody fucking does that if they are financially stable. Let's just be honest. Who does that? Nobody. Okay? So these are the people who can't be financially stable, who can't get ahead in society. And so you watch the government close down the Department of Education. And that's a whole rabbit hole that I don't care to go all the way down tonight because we've had those conversations before. Maybe we'll do it again, but not right now. The Department of Education is closing because if AI is taking all of our jobs. Now, remember, school, even college, is just a way to be a better slave, right? To the cycle of working until the day you die and paying your taxes. So if AI will be taking all of our jobs, what do you need education for? Because schooling is not about teaching you how to really do things in life. Like they don't have a home ec anymore. They don't teach you how to cook. They don't teach you how to build shit. They don't give you no trades. Like they don't really do any of those things in school. They just teach your ass how to go get a job. But if AI will be taking all of our jobs, there's no need for the Department of Education anymore, right? But if they really wanted to fix the problems in the inner cities, like that's the rabbit hole going down why they're getting rid of education, period, in the inner cities and in the suburbs, everywhere. It's all finna go away because there's no need for you to get an education because you won't have that job anymore because AI is going to do your job. So you don't need to get this education at all. But if they were really concerned, how come the government is not funding better education in the inner cities when they know that that is a prerequisite to crime? Not having a good education. So why are they not fixing that shit? Why don't they do that? Why don't they come in, that man that they let go? Why doesn't Trump sign an executive order that states that when people come into the courtrooms, when it comes to mental disorders, that they are required to make them be evaluated before they let them hit the streets again on their own personal recognizance or on any kind of bail, that they must see a therapist first. And that therapist, that psychiatrist must sign off and say that this person is able to be in the streets, or either they recommend that this person has to check in with them weekly. This person should be required to take certain medication. You know, they could do those things. How come nobody's signing executive orders for that shit? Huh? Everybody is getting laid off. People are poor. And they're becoming poorer. Okay? So I want you to tell me, what do you think is getting ready to happen? Crime is getting ready to go up. And I'm not talking about, sometimes I think people think in their head, they're like, oh my God, crime, murder. Why would people do all of that? No, I'm just simply talking about stealing from stores. Like if you've been hungry, I don't care if you ain't never stolen your life, nigga. You gonna go in the store and you gonna find out how to stick a pack of motherfucking hamburger patties down your pants. I promise you, you will become a shoplifter when your ass get hungry. You'll be trying to fill up baskets and run out of Walmart like you be seeing people online calling them ghetto. When your ass hungry, you gonna do the same shit. You ever had your stomach touch your back? So shit about to get worse because people are losing their job. And the cost of everything is going up. People are having their landlords hit them when it's time to renew their lease, talking about we raising the rent $300. Who the fuck go up $300 from one year to the next on a lease? People can't rent them, so they're leaving. People can't afford to live or rent a place to live. So when people are homeless, you don't think, for the man that's sitting in my chat, there's a man somewhere who gonna listen to this and say, I would never. And nigga, when you see your woman, when you see your children and your family hungry and they looking at you and you are the one that has to pay those bills, but you out of a job and you've been out of your job for 6 months. And no matter how many times you apply for a new job, nobody is hiring, because as they're letting your asses go, they're replacing you with automation. So that man that thinks it's ridiculous, talk to me in 6 months when your family hungry as fuck and you about to be homeless. And your only option is to go to a shelter. And we all know that shelters don't keep families together. So, sir, you're going to go to a shelter by yourself, and your children and your woman is going to go to a shelter without you, because they don't have shelters to keep families together, because that's not what this government wants to ever do. You're weaker when they can destroy you and separate you, right? I want to say, shout out to Emma or Mr. Thank you for the $20 holler. Says here's a donation to the Broke Michi Fund. Thank you, because I heard I was broke. I need it. Thank you. I appreciate it. So understand, if they really cared about crime, if you understand what the root of crime is, my question is, you would notice that they're not doing anything to fix crime. They're not doing anything to fucking fix crime. You know what they're doing? They're coming in to do a sweep in all of these communities, and they're telling you, we're going to get these people off the streets. Okay. Now, when they get rid of the immigrants, they going away and not coming back because they sending them somewhere else, right? So what do you think is going to happen to all the American criminals that go in the prison system? You're going to have to see them again one day, baby. They're going to come right back out on the streets. Eventually, we will have to see them and contend with them again. And if you think that when they go into prison, somehow they become this productive citizen, that they learn this is not where I want to be after being institutionalized, because our courts are handing down longer sentences than they ever have in the history of fucking sentences. We got people going in a courtroom, and instead of them giving them 10 years for something, they turn it around, talk about, oh, they charging charging you for every little thing. Oh, you turned left when you weren't supposed to turn left. Oh, you didn't have your shoes tied, motherfucker. Oh, you had a gun and you had bullets. So we're going to charge you for the gun and the bullets in the gun. And we're going to charge you for the fact that you planned it because it's conspiracy. And we're going to charge you for this and we're going to charge you for that. And when they get done, they tell a motherfucker you facing 953 years. Okay, let me not exaggerate. But you know how many people go to court and they're facing 30 and 40 and 50 years? We wasn't doing that years ago. They're trying to have lifelong criminals because that makes a lifelong slave. So these people have to come back out to the streets eventually. All of these people with mental disorders, you just watched the court release a man that they knew was schizophrenic and was committing crimes because he's hearing voices and he's seeing things that don't exist. But instead of requiring this man to get some goddamn mental help and take some medication, you let him back out on the streets and then you wonder why somebody is dead now? Really? I think, somebody that's blind could have seen that shit coming. I want to show y'all a clip or two, though, because I think that people don't really understand when I say what I'm saying. Like, the prison industrial complex is $1 billion industry, just like slavery was $1 billion industry and made so many people rich. Well, there are many companies. And I told you guys a long time ago, if you have been a day oneer and you have listened to Michi's spoken word album, you know that we have a spoken word called The Plantation. And we named some companies, right? Walmart, furniture, car parts, Starbucks, right? The next time you get some of them things, grab a pen and paper, hit your folks in prison up. Matter of fact, put some money on their books for all that free labor they just gave our folks they call prisoners, AKA the new slave. You don't believe me? Let me show you. I want to play a video for y'all. Let me say shout out to Faith really quick. Thank you. Faith is all we need. For the $5 holler said, when is the last time you seen a crew of black men building houses like they used to back in the old days? Oh, because they'll tell you that black people don't want to work construction. They don't want to work construction. Them is the jobs we don't want, right? If you see my video earlier about everybody, it's black folks up in an uproar about the Hyundai plant that got raided here in Georgia, talking about them is the jobs we not qualified for or we don't want. Since when? I'm from Detroit, baby. I'm from. You can name what you want. Motor City, Motown, right? As Motor City, we had all kind of car manufacturing places. It wasn't nothing but black people at Chrysler and Ford. What is you talking about? So now Americans don't want to work in factories to make cars? Please. Who told you that lie? Right? So again, we don't see that anymore. And if you watch, there's news clips that have recently gone up that have actually broken that down. And maybe we'll have that conversation a little later this week too. But it shows the industries that immigrants actually they overtake, right? They're leading in those industries. And construction is number one. Construction is number one. You motherfuckers keep screaming at me about some goddamn farming. Oh, they be picking food in the crops and you don't want to do that job. I get so sick of motherfuckers acting like that's all immigrants do is pick shit in the field. As black Americans, we're not picking shit in your field. You know why? Because you motherfuckers made us do it for how many years? And you talk about like PTSD or shit that go through somebody's DNA. It's just in our DNA. Our ancestors was in your fields picking so much shit. Our DNA won't allow us to pick that shit no more. Matter of fact, I'm about to show you a video when you go to prison in certain southern places in this country, your ass be out there picking cotton still. How many of you know that people actually pick cotton today? Do you know that's still a thing? Do you know that prisoners are picking fucking cotton? Do you know that? I guess y'all thought, where do you think we get the cotton from? It's still growing. Who you think picking it? Prison labor is picking that cotton. So yeah, I don't want to pick anything in the crops or on your plantation, on your farms. Linda says, you sound beyond retarded. Your ancestors would be appalled. My ancestors would be appalled. Why? Because of what? Linda, you subscribe to my channel to say that dumb shit. My ancestors would probably whoop your ass. I don't know about your ancestors. Let me inform you, ma'am, we don't all have the same ancestors. And I don't know about yours, but mine don't know what you're talking about. And they're not offended by anything that I've said. Matter of fact, they be speaking through me. I summons them every night before I come on here and cuss motherfuckers like you out. You know what I'm saying? So my ancestors is pretty cool with whatever I got going on. So I don't know about your ancestors. Baby, they some weak punk bitches. You should go talk to them. I know about mine, bitch. I don't know about yours. Because one thing y'all love to say these days is the ancestors. As though we all have the same ancestors. I don't know about yours, but mine's some riders. We ain't picking nothing out of nobody motherfucking field. Maybe you want to, but I don't know why my ancestors would be mad because I just said they was picking all that shit, and we'll be damned if we're going to turn around and we're supposed to be free. I'm going to say that with air quotation. We're supposed to be free, and we willingly go pick some shit. Now we're going to let the immigrants do that too. Go right ahead. But we swear that's our immigrants do. Okay. That's why you don't see nobody in construction no more. Black people used to be in construction. Black people own construction companies, but they can't get the deals because they can't give the cheapest bids to the government because the other companies can hire a gang of immigrants, pay them $5 an hour for a job that legally is worth $25 an hour. And so they can do the job for much less. So all of the Black people got pushed out of the construction sector, whether it was through businesses or whether it from contracts or it was the workers, all because of the immigrants. This is why you don't see Black men building houses or roofs anymore. But they will tell you it's because we're lazy and we don't want the jobs. And I will say to you, yo mama, okay? Because that is the first thing from the truth. But anyway, I want to thank Linda for subscribing. I'm glad your ancestors at least invoked that in you. And they was like, push that button, bitch, and subscribe to meet you. I appreciate your ancestors for that, though, okay? Other than that, I don't know about your whack-ass ancestors. I know about mine, okay? But I want to show y'all something. When we talk about prison labor, it is a real thing. Now, for all of you that don't know, let's just cover the basics of what you can't see. There are prisons that literally have manufacturing plants inside of the prison. And people get up and they go to work and they make license plates. They make furniture. They make car parts. They make a lot of the equipment that police use, like their shields, their batons, things of that nature. They also make things for Walmart. So when everybody says all of this shit in Walmart comes from fucking China, no, it doesn't. It comes from a lot of it comes from prisons. They also make things for McDonald's and Starbucks, like the cups and the straws and the different things like that, right? And so this goes on in America all day long. They also require the prisoners to learn how to do things in the prison. A lot of prisons that you will go to, the person who runs the electricity learns how to be the electrician and keep shit running. Those are prisoners, right? The people who cut the grass and drive the John Deeres, those are prisoners. The people who do all the painting, the people who keep the prison in order, they're all prisoners. And they will let them learn these skills, but when they get out of prison, they are not able to get a job on the outside with these skills. They only allow these skills to count for something while they're in prison. Okay, so understand that as well. Just like in California, they take prisoners and have them fight fire with firefighters. Okay, now they recently do have a program. Let's be honest in all aspects that they will in some places allow these inmates that are working for the fire department to be in a program that when they get out of prison, they will hire them and give them a job. That is a new thing, and that is a great thing. I'm glad they're finally doing that. But for many years, they were not doing that, okay? Kamala Harris, the person y'all love so fucking much, she actually would not release these prisoners, even though the Supreme Court said it was cruel and unusual punishment. They said these people have served too much of their sentence. The prison is overcrowded with too many people, and the overcrowding is causing cruel and unusual conditions, which is against the Fifth Amendment. And so they told her to release non-violent criminals who at least serve 50% of their sentence. This bitch said no. And the reason she said no is because she said she would not have enough workers to do the firefighting and the work, because they also clean up the streets. So when you're driving down the freeway and you see motherfuckers picking up trash on the side of the road, those are prisoners. When you see them sometimes doing construction shit, those are prisoners, okay? So don't get it twisted. Those aren't people who fill out an application all the time and just got a good job. And Kamala said no. Because how will we have labor? Oh, bitch, that's some slavery shit. Y'all was worried about Trump putting everybody in slavery, but Kamala literally did. And the Supreme Court held her as the Attorney General in California. They held this bitch in contempt and was going to lock her the fuck up if she didn't let them go. And she had a long battle with them because she was fighting not to let these prisoners go. Okay? So let's be clear, billion-dollar industry. But I want to show you something that I did not know that they were doing, okay? I'm going to play a video for you. And before I do, let me say this too. How many of you know that even in the county jail, now prison is not county jail, for those of you that have never gone to jail before, we have the city jail, we have the county jail, and we have prison. So the city jail is where you go for a moment, right? And they're going to decide, are you going to make bail? Are you going to pay this ticket? and you going home. If you staying, bitch, we transferring your ass to the county. The county is where people sit and wait to go to trial. Nobody in the county has been convicted of a crime yet. They're sitting and waiting to go to trial. Do you know that in the county jails, they actually have free labor, and they will use the inmates, and they have them doing telemarketing? So sometimes there are companies, when somebody is calling you about your Comcast, or they're calling you about your issues, or maybe you're calling them, maybe you're calling Comcast, maybe you're calling, your electric company and things like that. Well, those are inmates in the county jail that are actually answering those phone calls for you. And this is the kicker. None of those people get paid any money. So at the end of the week, when it's time to do commissary, for those of you that don't know, this commissary is how you get your hygiene, your toothpaste, your soap, your food, your whatever, right? That you need while you're in there, shoes, coats, all of that good stuff. Okay. When it comes time for commissary, whether you're in the county or whether you're in prison, because ain't no commissary in the city jail. Okay. Because you don't stay there too long. Okay. It's time you're going to go to one or the other. You finna go to the county or you going home. So there's not any commissary in the city, but that's in county or prison. When it's time for that to come up, they will consider those people indigent, meaning they don't have no money. So they will work you all day and literally give you nothing, or they'll pay you like $1.60 a day. That's some slave shit. They won't even give you enough. You ain't even gonna give me like $50 a week so I can at least get me some shit off the commissary, bitch. They will work you all day and still give your ass nothing. People is like, what? Y'all don't know this? I understand a lot of people may not know this, but I want to show you something that I just found out, because this is new. They haven't always been doing this. So let's see what they are doing in some of these prisons in the South. Okay, let me play a video for y'all really quick.
It's a sad situation, a way they getting rich off us.
The Alabama Department of Corrections farms out incarcerated people to work at hundreds of private companies and government agencies across the state.
McDonald's, Burger King, Golden Corral, Wendy's. They got a Wendy's contract right now. State Trooper's office.
They'll send everybody everywhere.
They'll send you everywhere. Yes, the parole office.
And even though ADOC trusts these incarcerated people to leave prison every day and work alongside the general public, many of them are still denied the chance at real freedom.
I work for y'all, but when I come up for parole, you deny me. Why would you deny me? Because I got free. Because you're getting free service. They want me to come back in tomorrow. They want me to, because they money keep flowing.
So before I address that video, I'm going to address this comment right here. Somebody says the inmates choose to have a job. I like how it's amazing that you call it a choice. Please be quiet. You have obviously never been to prison, have you? The prisoners choose to work. No, sometimes they don't choose to work. And at the end of the day, you either have an option of sitting in your cell all day. Like, I think that's kind of like forced. So do you want to sit in this hole all day, or would you like to get a job so that you can at least get out of this cement room that's as big as a fucking bathroom with no windows, no sunlight, and no daytime in most of these motherfucking prisons? So yeah, it's a choice, huh? They either lock you in a cage all day, or they'll ask you if you want the job while you're in a hole, or many of them actually do these things to get points because they tell you it's so you can fucking earn points and get out of jail early. What are you talking about? They can choose these jobs. Aw, you never been to prison, huh? Everybody chooses a job over sitting in a cell all day, you stupid ass. Everybody does, okay? Nobody wants to just sit in a cell like an animal at the zoo with lights on 24/7 and half the time no window to look out of. Yeah, you choose to go do free labor as well. That's like the master on the plantation throwing a nigga in a hot box. Do you know there's such thing as a hot box? It was in the ground. They would throw you in there when you ain't listening. It was real hot in there and you be all stuffy. That's like master throwing you in a hot box and saying, boy, if you come out and you pick this cotton real well, you going to pick this cotton. To know you want this job or you don't want this job. Now, you don't have to work. You don't have to work, boy, but you're going to stay in this hot box. Either you going to work or you going to stay in the box. And he say, I'd rather go to work than sit in this hot box all day. I know he chose to take that job. Y'all be saying some dumb stuff. just stop while you be at it. Boy, y'all be saying the most ignorant stuff. Now he says, do you think that they forced them to go work? No, they have to get enough seniority who was in jail to be able to go out and work. We're not talking about the people who go out and work. Did you just not hear me say there's plenty of shit in the prison that they make people do? And absolutely, you do have to have some type of seniority. So let's go there, because apparently AAP, you probably need AARP, because you must be an old motherfucker who mind is deteriorating, because one has nothing to do with the other. We're talking about people in prison who actually just go down the hall and go to the manufacturing room where they manufacture everything. Now let's get into the conversation about the people we just seen, because that is a completely different damn story, okay? A completely different one. So let's have that conversation. You're right that they have to have some type of seniority to go out there and work. But this is the crazy thing. Did you not hear what that lady just said? She says every time she goes up for parole, right? Every time she goes up for parole, they won't let her go home. So you mean to tell me that all of these criminals have gone out, and for months, maybe years, they actually are working? I have never thought. Now I go into a fast food, I see the condiments and the straws and the cups, and I say, I know that they make some of this stuff in the prison. Never would I think the person on the other side of the counter is serving a prison sentence and they're the one taking my fucking order. Now, this is the thing. If you can, AAP, we done talking to you. I want you to shut the fuck up, okay? I'm answering your question, and if you would let me get my thought out, then I can respond to the last thing you said. I'm done responding to anything you say, because you're one of those motherfuckers who just, you ain't listening. You just want to talk. So I suggest you go start you a YouTube channel. What I will is give you the grace, bitch, to come back here and drop your link. So anybody who want to hear you talk can come over and hear what you got to say, because you ain't even let me answer the first motherfucking question that you asked, but you got something else to say. Bitch, are you a correction officer or something in this motherfucker? Is your mama a judge? Are you related to Trump? Are you down with the government somewhere? What the fuck is your problem? You don't want to let nobody finish their comment? You one of them people who don't like to listen. You just want to run your mouth. But the problem is you don't have a platform to run your mouth on, and nobody probably ever listens to anything you have to say. So y'all like to come into other people's chats that have platforms and run your mouth in the comment section so that people will then address you so that you can feel heard. So I'm going to tell you like this. I'm going to tell you like them badass kids. Say one more thing in my chat till I finish answering your first fucking question, and we're going to time you out for 86,000 minutes, bitch. We'll see you in about 3 days, okay? Do you like I do my kids? Say something else. I'm going to ground your ass. Okay. Oh, okay. You thought I was playing, huh? So again, these people are working at the restaurant on the other side of the damn counter. Hey, shout out to my brother Q in the house, y'all. Y'all go over there and check out Q channel. Go ahead and click on his name. Y'all go over there and support Zayax in the motherfucking house over there doing great things. The kids just started back at school. It's a whole lot of new programs this year. Y'all go over there and support and check out Zayax Institute, y'all. We are definitely Umar Johnson. We have a school that has been in the works for 8 years and it's just steady growing. Okay. So shout out to a school actually schooling some kids and saving some black boys instead of just talking about they Shango all goddamn day and butter pecan Rican women and shit. So anyway, shout out to my brother Q. But I want y'all to think about this. You heard the lady say that she cannot get parole. So this is the thing. If these people have been going out to work in society, y'all follow me here now. If they've been going out to work in society, they're at McDonald's and Taco Bell and they working all these jobs. They even said the probation department. So they let them come work alongside the people in the probation department. They are working everywhere outside in society. So, of course, you have to have some seniority to go out there and do that, which means that you seem to not be a threat, because the criminals who are a threat and have done very heinous crimes, I'm sure they don't qualify for that program. And I'm sure the people who want that program and who qualify for that program are not in there for very vicious crimes. They probably haven't been in any trouble since they've been in a prison. They have stayed in a situation where they seem to be trustworthy to go out. And of course, if you're sitting in prison and they ask you, do you want to go outside and breathe some real air? You want to go work at McDonald's? Hell yeah, I want to go work at McDonald's. You mean I get to leave every day? My kids could probably come up there and get some fucking McDonald's, and at least I get to see them over the counter. That's a whole nother level of a little bit of freedom that you don't normally have. It's like that Sunday on the plantation, you know, where people would allow you to visit other plantations where your family was. If you don't know that, right, you could go and you could visit other plantations and you could go and see your family and stuff. And, you know, you ain't get beat today. Nobody got assaulted today. Nobody had to work the fields today because in the name of Jesus, this was a rest day, right? And so same thing. You out there working behind the counter, you look up, you know what I'm saying? You can tell your kids, no, my mama work here. Oh, my daddy work here. So they going to show up so they can see you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it gives you some semblance of freedom. But my question is, if you can trust these people to go out and work, because I've never been to a fast food restaurant and there is an armed guard in the back of the restaurant with a gun watching these inmates. So apparently they are trustworthy to go out and do this work and come back. So why is it that when they go up for parole, they do not give them parole? I think the fact that they have worked this job and have proven to you that for all this time they have gone outside, they have not run away, they have not stolen anything, they have not committed any more crimes, that it proves that they can go out and be a productive citizen in society. They're doing it for you. Crazy part is, while they're working at McDonald's, Taco Bell, and all these places that lady just named, they're not getting paid nothing. You know who's getting paid? The prison is. The fast food restaurants and all of these places are giving funds to the prison, which is a much lower rate than they would pay for regular citizens. They have to pay the minimum wage. Let's say minimum wage is $10, $12 an hour. Maybe they're paying on average $5 an hour, like some immigrant shit, right? To the prison for every inmate that they give them. So the prison is getting the money while making them go to work. I would think they have proven that they are trustworthy to be paroled. But when they come up for parole, you notice that working out in the community for a year, 2 years, and they've never done anything wrong, and they've been out in society without being watched, and they come back to jail every night and they do what they're supposed to do. That's not enough to say that this person deserves to go on parole. Well, why won't they let them go? Because that's their slave. It doesn't matter if they can go be productive citizens, because our criminal justice system is not about creating productive citizens at all. It's about turning people into legal slaves. Slavery never motherfucking left. When slavery came to an end, so-called in this country, the next thing that happened was they began to create laws, and they made things against the law so they could bring you back. Those empty plantations turned themselves into prisons, and then they began to outlaw basic shit that people did, like loitering for Black people. You ever heard that term, what you doing around these parts, boy? You don't belong around here in these parts? You ain't never heard nobody say nothing like that? Yeah, that comes from after people were let off of the plantation. Black folks couldn't stand around in certain communities. That loitering law, that's where that came from. So then they say you're committing a crime and they take your ass right back to jail, which is now the plantation. And no, slavery is not legal, but according to the Constitution, for punishment of crime, slavery is legal. So and it says that to this very fucking day. So if we can find that you are a criminal, or make you be a criminal for some reason, or make something you're doing criminal, and then we now have the right to legally enslave you. It was just another way to turn people into slaves, and they've been doing it. The plantation never shut down. It just got a makeover. It got a facelift. It's under new management. They call themselves a prison instead of a plantation, and it still exists. So again, I'm going to say to everybody who got some common sense, not like the AARP nigga that was just in here that just got grounded from the channel, okay? For all of y'all that have some common sense, I would like to know what makes anybody think that going into a city and bringing in troops for 30 days, even 60 days, how does that solve the crime problem? Because as soon as you leave, the criminal's going to come back up. It's like when the roaches scatter when you turn on the lights. You know, when you turn the light off, they're going to make their way back out. All they doing is turning the light on the roaches. That's all they doing. And as soon as y'all leave, they're going to come back out. Again, we saw in DC that they arrested over 1,500 people. But then they told you only 12 of those were gang members. They took 156 illegal guns off the street. Okay, when you do that math, what were the rest of those over 1,300 criminals you claim you arrested? What were they arrested for? Because I imagine if these were murderers, if these were drug dealers, if these were gangbangers, oh my God, they would have said that. They would have said, we got 17 wanted murderers with warrants for their arrest off the street. They didn't tell you that, did they? So who was the rest of those people? That was a money grab too. We saw the footage of them doing the roadblocks and stopping people, and at the checkpoint, somebody gonna say to me in my comment section, talk about, I don't care why they there or what they doing. That's a bad crime area, a high crime area where they are. How many of us live in the ghettos and we live in high crime areas? So just because this is a high crime area now, everybody that comes through here, including the majority of innocent people who ain't committing no crimes, who are not criminals, they're being forced to be stopped by the police asking where you going. They on their way to work. You making people late. They trying to pick up their kids, but they got to stop first and deal with you. And if they ain't got their seatbelt on, if they got any unpaid tickets, if they don't have any car insurance, if they driving under suspended license, if they tints on their window is too motherfucking dark, you handing out tickets to people who can't afford to pay their fucking bills, but you giving them more bills. The criminal justice system is about money, and that's it. That's it, and that's all. It's just a way to make money off of the citizens in this country and disguise that shit as crime. So no, what Trump is doing is not fixing the crime in y'all communities. And I do understand that there is a need for helping y'all communities when it comes to crime. I know that crime is out of control, but what I'm telling you is that your government helps to commit this crime. They perpetuate it. They cause it. They put the things in your community to cause these situations because they know exactly what causes criminality. And so they put people in these positions for it to breed crime. And they know exactly what causes crime. There are many studies in your face. They'll tell you to your face, go and Google what statistics say. Go and Google what studies say about what causes crime. They know what causes crime, but you won't see any of the efforts to clean up the crime fit within those boxes because that's not what they're trying to do. They're trying to fill up the motherfucking prisons. Let me read these super chats and I'm going to show y'all one last video and then I'm going to let y'all go and enjoy the rest of your night. But I got another video I want to show you. I want to say shout out to Deborah Banks in the house for the $20 holla. This is for the Broke Michi Fund. I appreciate it. Y'all appreciate it. I need to get some snacks. Y'all know I'm a big bag. And when they say I'm a big bag needs snacks. And you know, I'm losing weight over here because I'm broke and I can't afford these snacks I need in my life. Shout out to you, Maasha. Did I say that right? See, I want to say Matasha, but that's not. That's Maasha. So I hope that I said that right. I will murder some names up in here. So if I have ever murdered y'all name when shouting you out, I truly apologize. I'm not the greatest at names, especially when I'm looking at them and reading them fast. I will mispronounce all of that shit. So I hope I said it right. Thank you for the $5 holla. Says, Preach Queen, I'm trying to book you for survival and online course for Cincinnati. How do I connect? Go to the Real Michi X at gmail.com. That's my email, the Real Michi X. If one of my moderators could please put it in there for me. I see Deech is in the chat. If she's still in there, but one of y'all put it in there. But just email me. Absolutely, and we can probably make that happen. And thank you, Anthony, for the compliment. That was a long time ago, but I stopped to do that. Let me go over here. Shout out to Nurse Armstrong. Thank you for the $10 holla. Let me see. Did I miss anybody else? I did not. Oh, I did. Hold on. Let me go back. Shout out to Business Now 24 for the $10 holla. Says, this white man system is so evil all the way around. This is why they invest in prisons. Makes sense. Absolutely. And then you get into the privatized prisons, y'all. That's a whole nother conversation in itself because privatized prisons, they have contracts with your, the state that they're in. And so let's say they build a facility to hold 400 inmates. Okay, let's say that. So the contract says we have cells for 400 inmates. Do you know that if those cells do not stay full with 400 inmates, do you know that private prisons have sued? This is a true thing. They have sued the city stating that they broke their contract. So ain't that crazy as fuck? I thought they care about crime going down. If they care about crime, how are you suing the state saying we got 400 cells, but you didn't keep these cells full? If the cells are not full, that means that crime is going down, but you're going to sue them. So in order to fill their contract, what do you think that means they do? They go around and they find people to lock up because they need to fill those cells. Like, if the cells aren't full, that's a good thing. But the city can be sued for not fulfilling those cells. Like, that's some real shit. I need y'all to let that fucking sink in. Shout out to Paula. Paula says, thank you for the $5 holla. Says, keep edifying your people, Michi. Some of them are so dumb they listen, but they don't really hear. Peace, love, and support. Shout out to you. Thank you. Thank you for that $5. Hey, look, my message ain't for everybody. For those that hear, shout out to you. Again, look, I'm not here for everybody. I know everybody is not going to hear what I have to say, and that is fine. That is fine. That is fine with me. I know my message is not for everybody, but who it is for, they will hear it. So let me tell y'all, I want to point out one more thing to y'all. I just want to show y'all a video before I get out of here. Before I do, though, I want to remind everybody that there is a link in the description of this video. If you have been watching a lot of commercials on YouTube, you can get your free subscription to MX Network, which is the network that I have created, because I get censored so much. We'll see how long YouTube will be nice to me. They gave me my monetization back in like December. I don't know how long this will last because I'm always demonetized. Like, this is a miracle. Must be because Trump around, he say anything out his mouth. So maybe they just allowing us to say whatever we want to say now, right? Because they used to get me all the time. I be on here. I ain't make no damn money on here. While people talking about get a real job. My job damn sure can't be YouTube because I could be demonetized any goddamn day. That's what I've learned, right? That's what the hell I've learned. Shout out to Q. He says that they are still enrolling right now. School year has just started, so y'all check that out. But you guys, in the link, you can go and get your free subscription to MX Network, which will allow you to watch some things. Not everything on there is free, but while I'm live, you can watch the live for free. After that, the live goes away within 24 hours. And if you have not caught it in that time, then you will have to have a paid subscription. I also want to remind everybody, I want to say shout out to everybody over here on MX Network right now. We have our chat and everything too. So shout out to everybody over there. We got Kay Pope in the house. We got Kimberly. We got Jordan and a couple other folks. Let me see who else we got in here. Lady Elect. Just want to shout out some people. Deech over here too. Deech on YouTube and she over here on MX Network. I love you, girl. Deech been around for a long time. Daphne and some other people. Shout out to all of y'all MX Network. Also know, you guys, that in the description of this video on YouTube, and if you're on MX Network, you can go to therealmichiex.com. But if you're on YouTube, there is a link for the events this upcoming 20th and 21st in LA. We will be in LA, you guys. I will be teaching everybody about survival. We will have a survival class where we are going to go into depth about some things that you can do. I have a lot of things for you to prepare those plans, show you how to use some of these supplies, and we're going to get into some more of that we always talk about on here. And then on Sunday, we will have a class about making money online. Now, that class is going to be a couple hours. I can only teach y'all so much, but I'm going to point you all in the right direction. I got plenty of information for y'all and list of where to go, you guys. I teach a 6-week boot camp. My next one is coming up in October. So of course I can't give you 6 weeks of information in a couple of hours, but I damn sure can give you a lot. Okay. So you guys can come out and you can check that out. You can go and get your tickets for that, you guys. It is donation based. So when you go on the site, the box is going to say 00, and you put in what you can afford to give. Give what you can, don't play me because you just play yourself. Half the time the people who don't be blessed, they don't get blessed. The information won't help you anyway because my ancestors won't let it. No, but again, it ain't about, I know everybody is struggling. So it's a donation based event. Give what you can. That allows us to hopefully we've gotten quite a few people in there, and shout out to y'all have given some nice donations. And so with those donations, what I will actually be doing, they do not go to me. I will be using that to actually get some supplies that I can pass out for survival and things like that while we're there. I do run into a lot of people that come to my classes. They are on a budget. They might be elders. They get Social Security or different things, so they only have so much money. So there are certain things I would just like to make sure everybody in the room has, and the more is donated, the more I can give away at the event. So you're really just helping me supply some things for y'all, so I don't have to do it all by myself, right? I'm already paying to come out there and things like that. So that's what the donations are for, but it's a donated event, so you guys can go get your tickets for that. Again, I will see you guys on the 20th and 21st. Now, with that being said, I want to show you one last video, and then I'm out of here, okay? Now, I know everybody is like, oh, slavery went away. I want to show you a video. We might have to play it a couple of times. It's very short, but I just want you to watch it, okay? this is a video that is not back. Now, there wasn't no cameras back when people was on the plantation. So this is not where this came from, okay? This is new and true to today. Let's play it again. Let's play it one more again. If you don't know what you're looking at, just look at it and I'm explaining to you what you're looking at. What you are looking at is prisoners in Arkansas. They are in a field and they are picking crops. And there are police on horses standing over them, watching them pick those crops. Now, the person said they were picking cotton. I don't know if they were picking cotton. Cotton fields are usually bigger than that. And when the plants are fully grown for you to pick the cotton, it actually is bigger than that. So I don't know if that was necessarily a cotton field. It didn't look like that, but it is a field. And I want you to know, as somebody brought up, Angola has that too. Absolutely. If you go down in the South, there are lots of prisons that used to be plantations, and they do. In 2025, y'all, they take prisoners out, they put them on a field, and they have them picking cotton. And they have officers out there over them on horses, just like back on the plantation. So when I tell you that slavery never left, it just changed. It's got a facelift. It got new management, right? But it's still here. Like literally, they have people, yes, in Mississippi, Alabama, and apparently Arkansas. They literally have people in the field picking cotton and picking crops. And let's be clear, in slavery, everybody didn't just fucking pick cotton. They was picking everything. Okay, we didn't just pick cotton and pick coffee. They picked everything, right? They did everything on the plantation. So don't just think all plantations were cotton picking plantations. Okay, that's what they want you to believe. They did everything. So with that said, we're going to go out one more time and we're going to watch this image because I want you to understand that this is why the fuck they call themselves cracking down on crime, not stopping crime. Because stopping crime is one thing, but cracking down on it is another thing. They're cracking down on crime. They're not stopping crime, because stopping crime would stop this. And with that said, y'all have a good night, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Stay black, stay strong, and stay alive. Y'all have a good night.